West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast.
Well, that's interesting. I got a whole bunch of, what the hell is that? Is that a shadow? Jaja? Oh no, that's the box for the comments. Welcome to the live call-in show. I can't remember the last time I did a live call-in show. It was probably about 2 weeks ago, or maybe 2.5 weeks ago, etc., etc. I've had to take a break from a bunch of mainly Indian incels coming for my neck because I dared to comment on the events that took place at the end of the India-Pakistan Asia Cup game today. Nationalism's a hell of a drug. I hope some of you are on this live right now, actually. I hope some of you have migrated away from Twitter onto this live, because I'd love to chop it up with you. Nationalism is one hell of a drug. We're seeing nationalism right now and the ugly effects of it in England right now. We had a march on the weekend by the far right, over 100,000. Mainly, like, nobody wants to say it in the media, but it's basically a lot of football hooligans, genuine thickos, being manipulated by people who are far wealthier than them to be angry about the boogeyman. And in the UK, the boogeyman in this sense is migrants coming over on boats. Anybody who doesn't look like them, including myself, like that's the boogeyman. And these people are being manipulated. Like, imagine people tuning in going, this is supposed to be a cricket show. If you don't like it, just log off and go away, innit? Imagine you got Elon Musk on live Internet Connect speaking to these people. Elon Musk got nothing to do with this country. He's got nothing in common with the common man and woman in this country, but people are going to listen to him. We might be living through the dunces era of mankind, pound for pound, dunces era of mankind. You got a cricket team refusing to shake hands with another cricket team, even though the issue that they're refusing to shake hands with them on is nothing to do with the players on the pitch. We are in one of the dunces eras of mankind. And the thing is that the incels who've been chopping it up with me back and forth on X over the last hour or so, my point is quite simple, right? The Pakistani players did not force the Indian players onto the pitch. The Pakistani players didn't refuse or show antagonism towards the Indian players on the pitch, right? I get the geopolitical issue. That doesn't take much reading to understand that there's a huge geopolitical issue at play here. But if the geopolitical issue is deemed so big, then don't let the match go ahead. But once the match has gone ahead, you play in the spirit of the game. Because once the match goes ahead, there is an understanding that you're playing it in the spirit of the game, and outside politics is nothing to do with the cut and thrust of 11 versus 11. That's my issue. That's my issue. Once you then decide to politicize it live on the mic, then you're a dickhead. So Sky, he's the captain, right? His comments were that was a dickhead move. Undoubtedly, that was done to placate people back in his homeland because he's probably afraid of XYZ. But he took the coward's way out. The Indian team took the coward's way out. Let's put this on the Pakistani players. Let's make it out that we're true patriots. But you played the game. You already played the game. So what's the burn here? The real burn, if there's a real genuine issue, you don't even go onto the field to begin with, right? But you had to go onto the field because undoubtedly the government told you to go on the field. So if you really are against the idea of playing against the Pakistani team, then at the post-match, you have to cuss out the government. You have to get on the mic and you have to do a mic drop. You have to do a CM Punk mic drop and you have to cuss the government and say, you should never have put us in this position. We didn't want to play this game. We do not believe that India should have appropriate relations with Pakistan at this moment in time, and we felt like we were thrown under the bus and hung out to dry. You want to really cut a mic, you want to really do a mic drop, that's what you say. And you direct it to the people who actually hold the levers of power, who put you in that position. It weren't the 11 players you were playing. It weren't, and that's why I think it's a dickhead move. It weren't the 11 players you were playing. And then, of course, you get the nationalists running to me in the comments going, you don't know what you're talking about. No, you're just hurt. You're just hurt because this is the classic nationalist move. Deep down, the nationalists know this is embarrassing, but you're in too deep now. You can't come out and turn around and go, that was an embarrassment thing still. No, you're in too deep, so you have to back it. You have to back it. I don't blame you. Like, that's why nationalism's one hell of a drug. It will make you back all kinds of foolishness and dumbness. Because once you're deep in the nationalism bag, you find it very hard to show nuance and call out BS when it's obvious BS. So that's why I'm not particularly bothered. Like I knew when I tweeted it that I was going to get the usual gorilla emojis. We're going to get Bear Engine Man calling me the N-word and people trying to shut me down and so on and so forth. But you can't shut me down. You can't shut me down on this. You can shut down your own people, but you can't shut me down. Impossible. I will say what has to be said to an outside. You don't have to care. That's cool. You don't have to care about it. But to an outside perspective, that's one big whole embarrassment. So let me tell you this now, right? Because West Indies are the next team to tour India, right? So a precedent has now been set, as far as I'm concerned. By not shaking hands, an international precedent has now been set that teams can just decide unilaterally, yeah, we don't like you, so we're just not going to shake hands now. So if West Indies go to India now and say, we think you lot are dickheads, we're not shaking your hands, we're well within our rights to do so, because you've now set the precedent that you don't have to shake no hands. You've now set the precedent that there's no such thing as sports personship. No one has to shake hands anymore. We can just decide on the day if we feel like doing it. So I'm instructing the West Indies cricket team, when we go to India, don't shake hands, because apparently we don't have to anymore. If you're feeling a certain kind of way, you just don't have to shake hands anymore, because bun the gentleman's rules of the game. If you don't feel like doing so, just walk off the pitch and shut the changing room door, because that's how it works now. The precedent has been set. Watch the cuss out we would get. Anyhow, West Indies do that. Watch the almighty cuss out we would get for doing such a thing. We might all get banned from the game if we ever did such a thing. They'd run us out of India the following day if we ever did such a thing. And the thing is, I thought the ICC rules said that you're not allowed to bring politics into the game. Didn't Usman Khawaja? Didn't he get a fine, or was he banned, or did he get a fine for wearing the thing talking about Palestine? Correct me if I'm wrong. So he definitely, if he didn't get a ban, he got a fine for it, right? So I'm expecting that Sky has to get a fine, because you can't then go on the mic and dedicate a win to the armed forces, whether he believes that or not, whether it's right or not. We've got to be like, it's got to be fair, right? If we're gonna say that the ICC was right to fine Khawaja, then Sky has to hold a fine, yeah? Because what's he bringing up the armed forces for? Since when are we allowed to just bring up the? This is like when, what's his name? Dhoni wore the military cap. India played some game with the military cap on. Are we allowed to just do this? I thought we weren't supposed to bring politics into sport. I thought we weren't supposed to publicly start doing stuff. So if I'm Usman Khawaja, I'm doing an interview tomorrow saying I'm expecting Sky to get a fine, right? Because my man said live on the mic, big up the armed forces. Are we allowed to do that? I want someone to tell me, are we allowed to do that now? We're allowed to just big up armed forces. So when West Indies go to India in a couple of weeks, is Roston Chase allowed to just big up the Bayesian army for keeping Barbados safe? Is he allowed to just do that at the end of a... So Roston Chase, if this gets to Roston Chase, I want Roston Chase to test the waters, right? When we lose the first test match to India, I want Roston Chase to just say randomly on the mic, You know, I want to, obviously, because every West Indian cricketer thanks God. I want to just thank God. You know, the boys fought hard. We'll go to the next Test match and we'll try and learn from what went wrong and improve the next Test match. And I just want to thank the Barbados Army for keeping all the Bajans safe. Like, would that even? Ah, boy. Does it even make sense? Right. Anyways, this is supposed to be a call-in show. It's supposed to be a call-in show with 10 minutes in. You don't know already that I'm not doing no link for a call-in show until there's a certain amount of people in the live. So I'm just going to keep waffling on. I'm going to keep waffling on until we get a certain amount of people. Like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. All of that. Oh, I should do some plugs, actually. Let me see. 1 second, people. Let me show you lots of stuff because I don't know how many people have been paying attention to different things. So in the meantime, whilst we're waiting for all these people to come into the live and so on, let me show you some stuff. Oh, what have I done here? Let me show you some stuff, people. So the Caribbean Cricket Network is coming very, very soon. So if you're not aware of it, I'm about to take myself. In fact, let me take myself. Can I talk whilst I'm not on the screen? I'll take myself off the screen in a minute. Can I do it like this? Hold on. Let me go. Let me go like this. So the Caribbean Cricket Network is coming very, very soon, people. So just to fill you in on what the Caribbean Cricket Network is all about, I have partnered with Yannick Leonard. Yannick's been on a previous episode of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. I'm sure you can go and find that. Former Leeward Islands cricketer, Anguilla cricketer, etc. You can, on the screen right now, you can see Suresh Rao, West Indian historian. He's going to come on and do a show about West Indian history, society, and politics. Yannick, obviously, because he's a former pro cricketer, actually is paid as a pro over here as well. He's got a lot of exclusive interviews with lots of different West Indian cricketers, which are dropping very soon. And then we've got Rising Bowler, who most of you should be familiar with. He is going to be doing a cricket fundamental show. So what Caribbean Cricket Network essentially is like a subsidiary of the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. So all of the stuff that the Caribbean Cricket Network produces will have its own separate channel within the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. So look out for the very first video that's going to drop. I thought it was going to drop this week. It might be next week. That's going to be Yannick with an exclusive interview with a current West Indian cricketer. Won't say the name just yet, but look out for that to drop soon. And here's just a little teaser of some of the stuff we were filming a few weeks ago that's going to drop. We went and did a net session with all four of us. Have a look at this. Pause that. Look at my cover drive. Look at my cover drive. Look at the no foot movement, pure Chris Gale. I learned that one from Chris Gale was my favorite cricketer in my era, you know. Look at this. Look back at my cover drive again, people. Look at the back hand. Look at the eye back coordination. Look at the hand speed, pure back foot. I didn't even pounce on the front foot. Look, the ball's just coming in here. I'm just stationary on the crease. I didn't even plant my front foot. I just said, you know what? See ball, hit ball to boundary, pure licks. That's my diet, you know. That's my tradition that I grew up on. Just licks. Look at this shot again, people. Call me up to the West Indies A team. I didn't even move any feet. I just said I don't have to move feet to blast the ball. Let's look at this one again, people. Look at this one. Here it comes. What? Bang! Look at the pose. I even held the pose, cuz. Look at the pose. You see that pose? I'm just watching it go all the way to the boundary row. Jaja. Look at the foot movement. No foot movement, you know. Pure Chris Gale. Just hand-eye coordination. Crisp. Smooth. Hey, I hope that whoever's watching, I hope West Indies selectors are watching this one, you know. Ghost George says, Mash, you have absolutely no athletic genes. You have no idea how that bat hit the ball. Listen, I know it went for 4, though. I know it went for 4. That's the thing. Or the currency is 4, right? That's already more runs than Rajendra Chandrika made for the West Indies. I know that went for 4. Watch it again. You didn't watch carefully. Watch this one again. Look at this. Look at this. Watch it again. Boy! Hand-eye coordination. You're not in deep in this. You're not deep in it properly. I just need to. The man said caught in the covers. That went all along the ground. That was a true cow lash shot. Anyways, let me take it back to start because then you need to see the short ball. I lost the short ball in the lights. Wait, look at that short ball that plonked Suresh on the back of his helmet. Look at that concussion ball. My pressure. I have a blood pressure. Allow me. Yeah, so anyways, people, the Caribbean Cricket Network is coming soon. So yeah, tell a friend to tell a friend, tell a friend. Caribbean Cricket Network. We got some special stuff. We got some special stuff coming for you. Also, in the descriptor. People telling me I can't play the short ball. Allow me though. But the thing is, you lot don't. I was playing with high blood pressure that day. I'd only just come out of hospital. What, about 2 or 3 days earlier, and I still hit that. Hit that sweet cover drive with high blood pressure. My blood pressure on that day was like 170, and my hand-eye coordination was still on point. How many men do you know can come out of hospital with 170 blood pressure and still show that kind of hand-eye coordination? I should have got hit by that short ball. I still managed to weave out the way of it. It was unorthodox. But I weaved out the way of it nicely with high blood pressure, you know. Imagine if I was playing with proper blood pressure. Anyways, what else do I want to say? Yeah, in the descriptor below, you should also see. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. In the descriptor below, you should also see a link to the Caribbean Cricket News platform. So Caribbean Cricket News is basically the Caribbean Cricket podcast answer to ESPN and CricBuzz. We're taking over, basically. Sportsmax has died. ESPN and CricBuzz don't cover West Indies cricket properly. There is no one place on the internet that you can find top quality writing about all of West Indies cricket. Now, before people criticize me, what I mean, I don't mean that you can't find it in the respective Caribbean nations. So you can find some good writing from some Trini journalists about cricket in Trinidad. You can find some good writing in Jamaica from some journalists about cricket in Jamaica or Jamaican cricketers. But there isn't any one place on the internet where you can find consistent good writing about just all of West Indies cricket. So myself and Santoki have been complaining for ages, saying that West Indies cricket isn't covered properly. We've filled the void from a kind of audio visual perspective, and now it's time to fill the void from an actual print perspective. So Caribbean Cricket News is starting. It's 1 week to go. The official launch date is next Monday, the 22nd of September. When it launches on the 22nd of September, there will be an exclusive offer for anybody who wants to actually subscribe. When I say like a proper good offer for anybody who wants to subscribe. So get involved with that. Look out for some more information coming up about that on offer for those things as well. So do look into that as well, people. That stuff is all coming. And then finally, I'm going to put the link for the call-in show in a second. There's not the number that I want to be in the live, but I'll put the link up soon. Just one more thing is, where is it? Let me just find it. For those who are unaware, is it this one? Sorry, people, bear with me. Where is it? I can't even find it, Chacha. I can't find the full screen one. I don't know what I've done with that. So you'll just have to bear with this one if it works. Right. So I don't. This isn't going to work. I don't think. Let me see if it works.
Has arrived, and I'm rocking right now the classic.
Right. So Hold on, people.
Has arrived.
So this is just a quick video looking at the Caribbean Cricket Podcast merch. Listen, we're selling out quick, you know. If you're interested in getting one, just quickly watch this video. I don't know where my full screen video is. This one will do for now.
The Caribbean Cricket Podcast merch has arrived. And I'm rocking right now the classic West Indies maroon in the CCP logo. It's looking nice, it's looking fresh, it's looking like you need to go cop one. It's not just the maroon. You can also get the Look at this, people. Remember in the 1970s when the West Indies used to rock that salmon? Well, check this out. We got the baby boy, baby girl pink in the CCP colours. Go cop this one. But I'm not done. Look what else I got. I got the baby boy, baby girl, sky blue. Look at our West Indies logo. You'll see the sky blue in it, matching the sky. You gotta go get this one. The pink and the blue are in limited edition only. We've only got one of every size, from small through to double XL. You wanna look fresh for hot boy, hot girl winter, you gotta go get that now. And last but by no means least, we of course have the white. The West Indies polo is white. I thought I had to get the CCP in white as well. The classic white tee with the CCP logo. So if you want that white, you want that maroon, you want the sky blue, you want the pink, go and let me know now. CCP, new merch, we're outside, go cop that.
Wait, CCP is elevating, you know. You got people out here like CPL collaborating with people who can't even talk on the mic. I can talk on the mic, you know. So anyways, let me just tell you some stuff. So the following colors are already sold out. Blue in large is gone. Sorry, blue in large and blue in medium are gone. Pink in large and small and medium are gone. Everything else is available. Maroon in large is selling out quick. It's not sold out yet, but it's going quick. I can't lie. So, so if you're interested, just send me a message. If you're a patron, send me a message. If you're a patron, you get 25% off. On even if you're overseas, you get 25% off, etc. So if you're interested, send me a message on Twitter, email, Patreon, Discord. If you're in the Discord group, you can do that. If you want to get in the Discord group, become a patron, and that can get you into the Discord group as well. So there's quite a lot of stuff happening with Caribbean Cricket Podcasts. We're trying to move out here. We're trying to move. We're a collective. We're diversifying, etc. I don't want to be a teacher all my life. Yeah, there's XL. So the biggest size is double XL. So for the people who got a belly, there's a double XL. Ever since I got my blood pressure diagnosis, I'm getting skinny out here. Look, anyone notice? You see, with this new trim I've got now, my hair's gone. My face is looking skinny. Hey, I'm looking young and skinny out here. I'm looking. You see, 2026 divorce season. I'm back. I cut my locks too late for 2025 divorce season, but 2026 divorce season, I'm looking young out here. The streets are gonna be. Streets are gonna be on fire next year when I step out. If I can just keep it going. Remember, I think I told a couple of you lot before I cut my locks. I said maybe I had one more summer left in me, but ever since I cut my locks, look at this little side fade here, and ever since I trim, Babylon make me for man trim, but ever since I trim, I think I got 3 seasons left in me. I got 3 more summers left in me. I'm getting skinny out here. That blood pressure thing was a warning. I'm getting I'm getting skinny out here. I've got to stop calling this a call-in show. I got to stop calling this a call-in show and just make it a comedy show instead, because I'm not even talking about cricket. Where's the Nepal squad? CPL finishes this time next week. We don't know who's going to Nepal. The first game against Nepal is in less than 2 weeks. No idea what the squad is, right? The first game against India, first test match, is in 3 weeks. No idea what the squad is. Like West Indies is undefeated, you know. We're really undefeated out here. No one knows what's going on. Just pure CPL. Anyways, this right. This show ends in half an hour, so let me put the link. Let me put the link in the thing. Right, where is it? Where is the link? Oh God, I'm tired out here. You know, I was just planning a lesson on constitutional reform in the United Kingdom, the evaluation of constitutional reform in the United Kingdom. You lot don't know about me and politics, boy. Wait a minute, Mars Errol just took me there. Right. Interestingly enough, so my next merch that I'm doing, I think it's gonna have the CCP logo, but for the first time it's gonna have words in it, and I'm actually thinking that my next merch is gonna say West Indies over Gal as the merch. Who would buy? The thing is, who's buying a shirt which says West Indies over Gal? Can anyone really? I don't know if I can do it. You know, I might have to go with one of my I might have to just go with I might just have to go with like Down Horrendous or something like that. Because I don't think I would wear a shirt which says West Indies over Gal, but I'm not sure I'd sell out the shirts which say West Indies over Gal. In the traditions of Caribbean culture, I'm not sure I could sell that one out. So yeah. The thing is, right, where's my... Let me just find my... Here we go. I'm about to put the link in the chat, right? But if you come on to call and you're taking too long or you're taking up too much time, if you hear any of the following three sounds, it means you have to finish, okay? So if you hear the boo, if you hear the gong, or if you hear the police siren, it means your time is up. We don't want to hear you no more, okay? You can't take up any more of the time. What on earth? Devon Fernando. Any reactions to the... Allow me. Man trying to get my channel all cancelled out here. What do you think? Allow me, Devon Fernando. I'm not on that one right now. That's for... Shane said to me that I need to create a Caribbean Cricket Podcast channel. Sorry, he says I need to create a show on Caribbean Cricket Podcast, which is like called After Hours, where I talk about other topics. One day I might do that. But Devon, I'm not trying to get my show cancelled out here. Allow me. And the reality is this. This is all I will say, Devon. If I say what I truly have to say, they will come for me. Right, let's move. Big up Oblique Seville, by the way, for winning World Championship gold today. That's not just a Jamaica thing, because people see the Jamaica flag behind me and be like, oh, you're just trying to do a Jamaica thing. But big up Oblique. Because he's had a lot of doubters, Oblique. Oblique's been brilliant since he was a youth man. And he's finally, I guess, what do I want to say here? Fulfilled his potential. So big up to him, and big up Clayton as well for the silver medal, the 21-year-old. Right. Let's get going. Where's that link? Oh, there it is. Right. Oh God. Right, 30 minutes. 30 minutes and no more, people, because I do have to go to work tomorrow. Right, let's bring Fireball on straight away. Yes, Fireball, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Mash. I'm doing all right. I wish I could talk to you about the cricket, but I haven't been watching CPL. They had a TKR at a game Friday. I watched some Peacemaker and I went to sleep. I do not particularly care. The women, I watched a bit of the women. TKR women are dreadful.
Yeah, I think, are they? Who's playing today? There was a game going on. Was it Guyana and
Barbados,
I don't even
which
know.
is the final.
Barbados, yeah.
Which
Was it
is
the
the
final
final.
already?
Yeah, TK's gone.
I didn't even realize it was the final. Wait, it's final today.
No, not today. This is
Oh,
like
sorry,
the last
sorry.
stage match, but it's a dead rubber for the final because TK.
Yeah, because TKR have lost 3 games already. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Dotton look like she's like, why am with these waist women for? That's the face she have. I'm not say I can read Dotton's mind, but Dotton look like she can't do nothing out here.
Yeah, I've watched 2 games and not even all the way through. Like, you know, like when you're just sitting down and you remember the game just happens to be on TV. And yeah, I mean, Osprey has said that the quality is better than last year, which it is, but it's just not. Either WCPL needs more than 3 teams, or they need to not host it in just like this whole have the final week of CPL in Guyana thing. Like, it needs to go to someone else, not because Guyana can't do it. Obviously, Guyana's got loads of oil money, etc. But you see this thing where like you're no longer home and away, and like, what do you think about this thing where you just end the final stretch of the competition just in one country?
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not too excited that Providence is going to be the ending of the men's CPL. I think next year might be Barbados, and it might Trinidad might bid for the knockout games, because this administration loves CPL probably more than the last administration. Keith Roy is an uncle. Keith Roy like West Indies cricket. Madam Kamala and her cabinet more like this FET match, so they might bet for the knockout games in Trinidad and Barbados at the final. I don't know. I think that'll be a good shout.
I just don't see why. I get it, because obviously they want to have the way that Guyana has promoted it, and Barbados are the ones who are getting it next, I believe. And I get it, because the whole idea is it's sports tourism. Loads of Guyanese fly back for the final week of CPL, and Guyana always in the final week of CPL. But it just doesn't, and I know the Caribbean's expensive, so it's not as easy as just saying it should be home and away. But it always takes something away from, for me, it always takes something away from the competition that you basically are asking 3 teams to play at a disadvantage. Like, I'm not saying because Guyana are at home, they must win, but it is an advantage if 3 teams are basically being told, you're just based here now, you have no home support. Apart from Trinidad, because obviously they can travel easier, there's no real traveling support. So I don't know. Maybe I'm spoilt by how European sports work and the concept of traveling supporters and neutral venues and so on and so on. But I don't know. Something doesn't sit right with it for me.
Yeah. Now, speaking of a better sport, this might not be cricket. This is the last of cricket I'm talking about. I'm going to switch hands to football now. It's insane that we could actually have 2 Caribbean nations qualifying for the World Cup. Jamaica, I think Jamaica should top the group. They're aiming to top the group. Trinidad is fighting for Curacao. Trinidad who don't follow so-called areas don't are surprised how good Curacao is. Curacao is the 2nd highest ranked team in that group, not Trinidad. So Curacao is also aiming to qualify to beat Iceland's record, who broke our record as the smallest nation per population to qualify for the World Cup. But that's just there for fun. But probably there to probably just nick a point off Trinidad and upset myself.
So wait, you think? So wait, do you think Trinidad can make it?
Yeah, if we beat Bermuda well and we hopefully scrape like a 1-0 win against Curacao to become one of the best second place teams, the intercontinental playoff is a trick though.
Hold on. To scrape the 1-0 win, you mean going to Curacao and winning in Curacao?
Yeah, we did beat Curacao at Angus Eve, so we did it before. It's going to be difficult, but we did it before. It'll be difficult, I'm not going to lie.
Okay, let me put it this way. I think Trinidad have more chance of beating Jamaica in Trinidad than going to Curacao and beating Curacao.
Really? I think Jamaica will be full strength when they come to Trinidad, no? Like, they'll have all their players. Like,
true. Okay, true. But anyways, let's have this conversation again after the November window, because by the end of the November window, we'll basically know we'll have a much better idea of who's definitely going. if you see what I mean. Because then it'll be easier to tell, right, who's actually fighting for that second place and the playoffs.
Yeah. And the last thing will be more political. I'm going to talk about England here because I'm not going to talk about America because I want to. It's trying to actually make the work. I don't want my visa to get revoked. So I'm going to be careful when talking about American politics. But I'll talk about English politics and UK politics in general. Oh God, Keir Starmer and the Tory government, both these Tory opposition, like the Labour and the Tory opposition, such dead parties, you know, dead. Keir Starmer give him more energy for the left, give more energy for Corbyn and them men. Than these but he want to appeal to these knuckle dragging racists. And here the funny thing, these knuckle dragging racists think he's some Islamist communists who bring in Muslims by the dozen. Big jackass, moron. I don't want to come to a dead country anyway, so I don't care.
The preceding views were the views of Fireball and nobody connected to the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. Fireball, you're trying to get people knocking on my door before I get to go to bed tonight, you know.
All right, I'll keep it short here.
No, but on a serious note, nothing you said before was a lie. That's all facts. That's all facts. But I'll save my true thoughts for when I launch Caribbean Cricket Podcast after hours.
All right.
All right, cool.
All right, man. I really pray for you. Pray for you and all the other black and brown people that reform doesn't win. Best case scenario is a Labour minority government where the Green Party and Jeremy Corbyn and Sultana's government coalition gets seats, so Labour can't really do their neoliberal right-wing nonsense.
I actually don't mind if Reform win and then they deport me back to Jamaica. I'm fine with that. That's fine.
Oh God!
All right then. Listen, I've got to get. There's lots of callers, and I'm mindful of time.
Yeah, man. Take care.
All right, then. Cool. Who's up next? Don't Affy Dread. I wonder if this is Bigfoot. Anyways, let's quickly move on. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 callers left, people, and 6 callers left, and I need to go to my bed. So let's make this quick. Crick Lover says, Mash, I don't know if you're aware, but former Guyanese cricketer Stephen Jacobs was appointed as a minister within the Ministry of Culture, Youth and Sports in Guyana. Is the lead minister of that still Rampa? What's his name? What's his name again? Is it Rampasad or something, or Rampasor? Is it still him, the one who's the minister, the head minister of sport, culture, youth and sport? I can't remember his name. Someone in Guyana, let me know. Anyways, next caller. Yes, Don't Affy Dread. How you doing?
Don't Affy Dread to be Rasta.
I knew it was Bigfoot, you know. Oh my God. Oh,
it's been a while, bro.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I just want to say to you, be careful. And to the entire Caribbean diaspora in the United Kingdom and Europe, be careful. And if anything, make sure you come home. You know, Putin is going to try to invade you guys, but yeah.
Listen, I'm not afraid of Putin, you know.
All right.
Anyway, what cricket we chatting?
My topic for this evening is 3 things, basically. One is centered around the CPL, the lack of game for Michael McKenzie and Kofi James, the 2 top performers in the Breakout League.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it have been better if Kofi James and Michael had stick with the Antigua Falcons in that bracket, so they would have gotten more game and exposure?
Who's got Micah again?
I think St. Lucia got Mike McKenzie, I'm not sure. But
right,
Kofi was traded from Falcons from last year.
Right. So let's just deal with that point quickly. I posted that short up a couple of days ago about my thoughts on CPL, and it's got loads of views on TikTok and Instagram. Obviously, it must have resonated with cricket followers in the Caribbean and wherever else. And the thing is, I think a lot of people must think that when I make my points about CPL, I think some people think I must just be trying to hate on CPL. But my point is very, very simple. What was the point of the breakout league if the best batter and the best bowler in the breakout league were going to get 1 game between the two of them, right? 1 game total. I'm not trying to say that Kofi James is a world beater. I'm not trying to say that Michael McKenzie is even ready for top level cricket yet, but they were the standout players in the breakout league. And you mean to tell me they can't get more than 1 game between them in a competition? And this is why I'm saying that CPL isn't fit for purpose. It's just not fit for purpose as a competition. And I don't care how many people want to message me and say, but CPL is a private owned league. They don't owe any of these cricketers anything. Their priority isn't they don't have to develop West Indies cricket. So why did CPL agree to develop the breakout league then? If CPL don't care about any of that, why did they agree to the breakout league? And furthermore, I need to remind people that Cricket West Indies cannot create their own T20 league because part of the agreement that was signed with CPL when they got given that contract for 25 years was that Cricket West Indies cannot form a different T20 league without CPL having involvement in it or agreeing to it. So there is nothing we can do. So I'm going to continue to criticize CPL. Because it's like people who message me going, why are you saying? So what do you want me to do? Put my head in the sand and say nothing about CPL? And then 2-3 years from now, when Pollard and co have all gone and we have nobody to take their place, it will be the same person, me, who returns to say, don't you see what I was saying 3 years ago? Now we have nobody to market the league around because you didn't want to give anybody a chance. You didn't want to think long term about the so what I would say, Bigfoot, is this isn't even just about the individual cricketers. This is about CPL's viability as a competition. They're not thinking long term about what they're going to have to do 3 years from now. Someone messaged me the other day and said nobody wants to pay money to watch Jadea Blades play. Cool, but they're going to have to pay money to watch Jadea Blades play in 2 years because there won't be anyone else to play. So I don't understand where people are coming from. So, anyways, Bigfoot, that's my take on it.
My second take on the topic, which would be the performance of young players in the CPL this year thus far. The only 2 young persons on Breakout League that really has impressed would have been somebody like Nathan Edwards and Akeem Orgis.
Yes.
I, for one, would like to see Akeem Orgis either in the Nepal series, but I have a hunch feeling that they might take him to India as a developmental player with the test team.
Oh, interesting. I don't want to see Akeem Orgis go to India. I don't think that helps him in any shape or form. I've got no problem with him going to Sharjah to play against Nepal. I think that would be fine for his development coming off the back of a CPL. Nathan Edwards. Ooh. What have we got next? Super 50.
Super 50, then
what's Nathan Edwards' country again?
Leeward Islands, I think.
Is he? Nathan Edward Leeward Island. Where's Nathan from? Let me check. Someone in the chat. Anyone know where Nathan is from? I've forgotten where Nathan Edward is from. Let me see. Where was he born though? Oh, St. Martin. I didn't realize. Okay, so Nathan Edward was born in St. Martin. So I just need to check if I've got the list, but I haven't got it to hand right now, if he was contracted for Super 50. If anyone's a patron, go into the patron. I sent it to the patron subscribers the other day and said, here's the contracted players for Super 50. Someone check if Nathan Edward got a Super 50 deal for the Leeward Islands, please. Because my point, the reason why I'm saying that, Bigfoot, is my point is, for someone like, so where's Akeem? I could say, yeah, I think he can play that Nepal series and I have no issue with that. Nathan Edward, I just want to see him go play some Super 50 next. Go into camp with the Leeward Islands. If it's, I don't know who's being contracted to, probably Leeward Islands, if he is contracted. Go into camp with them, play some Super 50, and then we can talk again about Nathan Edward. But I need confirmation from someone to see if he is contracted or not.
Okay. My final point is, how soon will we be getting the Test and Nepal teams? because I think it's really crazy that we're waiting until last minute to get them from CWI.
But do you know what part of the problem is? Part of the problem with having the team announced for Nepal is Sammy's still coaching in CPL. So how are we going to be naming the squad for Nepal when the head? So what is the head coach going to do? And this isn't me trying to cuss Sammy, but what are we going to do? Is Sammy going to do a press conference whilst head coach of St. Lucia to announce the West Indies team going to play against the? Do you know how does that sound to you?
It's crazy.
It does sound crazy. Really and truly, if you want my opinion on what should be happening right now, is Sammy should be there should be a press. What day is it? Sunday today. What's the last game in CPL today? Is it Guyana? Oh, Guyana versus Barbados. On Monday, there should be a press conference where Sammy says it's the last week of CPL, but West Indies are going to have to fly to Sharjah like 2 or 3 days after CPL. For the last week of CPL, I'm not actually going to be coaching St. Lucia because I now need to focus on who the West Indies squad is to go and play Nepal. So I'm going to step away from the competition. If Sammy is coaching all the way, let's say St. Lucia get to the final. If Sammy is coaching all the way through to the end of CPL, that means next Sunday on the 22nd or whatever day it is, he'll be coaching in the CPL final, then flying the next day with a selected group of players. And bear in mind that also on the St. Lucia team is Avanesh and Floyd Reefer. Basically, the whole backroom staff of West Indies is with St. Lucia. So what are we doing right now? I don't and that, again, that's not personal. I just want someone to explain it to me.
All right. Thank you, Mash. And I'm looking forward to hearing you are CWI new talent scout.
My mouth is too big. But anyway.
Later,
anyway.
man.
Yeah, cool. Take it easy. Right, next up is Anson. Before I go to Anson, I'm just checking something for Super 15. Let me see if I can find it, and then I'll come to Anson next. Posted this thing in the Discord, not in the Discord. Did I put in Patreon or did I not? Can't even find it. 1 second, Anson. I'm just looking for something. Maybe I didn't put it in page. Oh, here it is. Right. So the domestic franchise contracts. Yeah. So the comment I've got up on there from Machel, Nathan Edward will be with the academy because he didn't get an Leeward Islands set up for the. Oh, this is for the Professional Cricket League, anyways. So in terms of youngsters, people, unless it has changed, Ramon Simmons and Kevin Wickham are contracted to the Barbados Pride this upcoming season. Josh Bishop is with the Barbados Pride. I'm just talking about youngsters. Shakir Paris is with Barbados Pride. Leeward Islands, Jewel Andrew, Micah McKenzie, Landerfort are with the Leeward Islands. Guyana have Isaiah Thorne, Matthew Nandu. These are under 25 players we're talking about. Jonathan Van Lang, the guy who's been scoring runs for the under-19s against Sri Lanka, he's with Guyana this year. Riyad Latif, he played in the Breakout League, he's with Guyana. Trinidad have Joshua James, and that's it. Like, Trinidad have problems, It's like Trinidad don't know that young players exist. Someone from Trinidad talked to me about Trinidad cricket. How comes young players can't get into... This is the Trinidad team that I've been given. Sorry if no one else doesn't. I know lots of you know this because I've posted it to select people, but this is the contracted players for Trinidad this season, if you're not aware. Amir Jangu, this means they've got domestic franchise contracts and they don't have West Indies contracts, as I understand. Amir Jangu, Brian Charles, Terence Hines, Anderson Phillip, Jason Mohammed, Yannick Carrier, Kari Pierre, Jid Gooley, Cephas Cooper, Josh Da Silva, Kyorn Otley, Navin Badesi, Camille Puran, Josh James, Tion Webster. Trinidad don't know nothing about young players, Anyways, Scorpions, Jamaica, Jordan Johnson is in there, Kurt McKenzie's in there, Tamari Redwood is in there, and then Windward Islands have Stephen Pascal, Teddy Bishop, Keon Gaston, McKenny Clark, the Murrays are in there. In fairness, so those are contracted players as far as I know. So anyone who I've not mentioned who's young, you have to assume that they might, young as in 19, 20-ish. You have to assume that they must be part of the West Indies Academy for Super 50 and the Professional Cricket League. Right, let's go to Anson. Right. Yes, Anson, how you doing?
Hey, how you going, Mash?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good evening to everybody looking on the live stream and so on. Glad to be here. Frequent viewer of the program. You and Santoki do a fantastic job.
Thank you.
You're asking about I just want to say by starting off by saying I agreed with everything you guys said about the breakout league and the lack of talent. Who would have been given a run out in all the CPL games and so on. You know, it's appalling because if you had a breakout league, and to me, it should be the new talent should go to the fore, especially as you said, which I agree with. When these senior guys transition out, Pollard and so on. I mean, okay, so you want to build the CPL around Shea Hope, Rovman Powell. These guys are in the 30s. They're in the early 30s as well. So it will be a quick transition, and then you will have no one, of star quality. And to me, the idea of the breakout league was to provide that. Give men a launch pad to go on to greater heights. And it's just disappointing. You asked about Trinidad cricket. So I'm in Trinidad now, right? And the thing about Trinidad cricket is that we have a good structure from youth programs. The school program is quite vibrant, but there's something from the under 19 stage to senior grade cricket. That is where the fall long is. Because, for example, I think West Indies just finished the under 19 series against Sri Lanka, the one that I think was 4-2.
Yeah, there's one more game tomorrow, but yeah.
Right, yeah, I think there's one more game yet to come. And I think I think there was only one Trinidadian player in that whole setup, or two, I believe. You know what I mean? So that just goes to say that we are really, in terms of selection and so on. And I just can't get my finger on it. But I could give you and some of the viewers something. So there's a domestic T20 going on now in Trinidad, right? At the club level. And where I live, a little village called Diego Martin, we deliver our recreation ground. It's nice international standard and so on. And you wouldn't believe who came in one down for his side yesterday and battled all the way to the end and won. The man himself, the Prince of Port of Spain, Brian Charles Lara.
Now, this is interesting. Now, Anson, so I was told in the Discord by Panda Steph, she told me that Lara had announced in Trinidad that he's making a comeback this season.
Yeah. Yes. You at 56. You understand what I'm saying, Mash? And the man was unbeaten. The man came in one down, decided to make 101 of the 20 overs, and he was there not out when the side made 104. Mash,
to win the match.
Yeah, to win the match. I mean, Mash.
Anson, what are you saying to me, Anson?
Yeah, I mean, if this isn't an indictment of where West Indies cricket, Trinidad cricket, club cricket is, I don't know what is, Mash. You understand what I'm saying? Wow, I was like.
So what do you think? What do you think Lara's intentions are here?
I don't know if it's part of the deal where he was a sports ambassador or as an icon to try and inspire youth. You know what I mean? The as you call them, the youth men and youth women to come out and build some excitement around, cricket as a sport, and then that kind of thing, So I mean, if that is the intent, I could see it making some kind of sense, because I mean, me and I are from around the same generation. I mean, I was a old school man going to the Oval for all forms of cricket, one day internationals, test cricket, you know what I mean? So I've been to the whole gamut, I mean, like Brian Lara is my generation, because you grew up seeing somebody who you can identify with from your age group, being successful on the world stage, So and I mean he retired in 2007. So you have a whole generation of people who would not have been privy to those exploits, you know what I mean, in the 90s, early 2000s, you know. So I guess, you know, actually seeing the man in the flesh, he might hope that something positive comes out in.
Do you think he's just going to play this? I'm trying to work out how. Do you think he's just? I don't know.
But
Is he just
I
gonna
don't
play-
know that, you know, I know he has some challenges physically with the knees and so on. So I guess it might just be how long the body could hold up, you know, for the amount of games and conditions and things. Because, you know, you start to run, you know, and that kind of thing. So we'll see. But, you know, like I say, I'm just as intrigued as you to see how that goes.
Like, do you know what? I'm so glad for you passing this information on. You know, I'm gonna have to.
You
I'm
know,
thinking,
and you know, funny enough, right? Some
Yeah.
of the games used to be shown on live TV, but I changed my setup, so I don't know. I'm not aware of which channel it was actually on because some of the domestic games we get to see them live on local TV. So I mean, I guess somebody could talk in the chat and say, you know, if which one if anybody carried it live, you know, so we look at who wouldn't be able to see him physically might be able to see it, you know.
So so the club he was playing for was Diego Martin. No, it was at Diego Martin. What was the club he was playing for?
I think it was something Blasters. I can't remember the full
Oh,
name.
it's not the marching.
Marching Patriots.
Is it them?
No, if I say yes, I would be a liar. But I think it was something Blasters. Something a little bit that I saw. Somebody sent me some information on it and some pics and some actual pics of him walking about and you know the teams lining up to play and that kind of thing. You know.
Boy,
But
listen, clearly Lara has said to himself he's gonna have to come back out of retirement to say West Indies cricket.
yeah, boy, yeah. You know, as a legend, but something else. Like I say, I fully agree with you on the point about Sammy and the team and who will be going to Nepal and so on. And for me, I highlighted this on another podcast. You know that this is the problem when you have a all person, one man doing everything. It doesn't make sense because no other international team has that going on and for any kind of success. You know what I mean? And especially in different conditions. You're going to Nepal, then you're going to England for a test, India for a test series. So come on, I mean, what time you have for the selected team to gel together, you know, to acclimatize when you go there is long flights. It's too much match. It's too much if you really want to see a change in West Indies cricket.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. I have nothing against Sammy as the head coach. I've actually defended him quite a bit, but I always warned when it was announced he was the test coach. There was a show I did with Santoki and I did where we talked through the West Indies calendar for the remainder of the year, and I think we even said this is back in April. I think we even said, what is he going to do when it comes to CPL? Surely he's not going to coach all the way through CPL.
Correct.
So said, so done. And so then we go to India and then we go to New Zealand. So I don't know what vitamin Sammy is taking because clearly
I mean, that is a tough grind. It's a tough grind. I mean, even if it's said like it have the other talent identifiers are wrong and so on, and he himself and Dr. Shallow and Mr. Bascom said it's not a one-man show, but you know, come on. He is the man, he is the shot caller, as we say. He's the shot caller. So I don't know. I guess the man maybe have adamantium constitution or some kind of thing, you know. Maybe a secret mutant, you know what I mean? One of the X-Men.
Listen, he must know that say we go to India, much less Nepal, and then New Zealand. Let's say we play badly in all three. He will catch pelters from people because they will say the natural critique will be, why were you in CPL? Why were you
correct?
Where so we go to the first game against Nepal is in 13 days. There's no camp. There's no. I know it's only T20 cricket, but the first game against India is in 3 weeks. We don't know nothing about it. It's India, right? We don't know anything about a camp. There's no prep. We don't know anything about any preparation camp. We don't know when they're flying there. So do you see what I mean? His focus right now.
Any warm-up games. Warm-up games. You know, that kind of thing. And then, I mean, you know, India is a vast place. You know, the travel alone and the food, and, you know, we always have problems with that. And wow, is a lot. But just to leave your Mash, I would say that the players who impressed me as the Akeem Ogis, of course. I was impressed with Ramon Simmons, the young player.
Yes, yeah.
BDC has been good, and Samson outstanding. I mean, and Samson come in there and Kimo Paul can get run out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A senior pro. You know what I'm saying? So these are the guys who impressed me. And for the CPL ladies, I mean, I feel for them. I think we need another team to really have to really get some kind of meaningful structure. We need another team. But I saying, for me, what CPL was intended to do has run its course, and I think that the best format for me, starting from Stanford, that was a good format where every island, every country had a team. But I mean, I'm saying that to me, CPL as a product to improve West Indies cricket has run a course, even though the contract has run its course, even though the contract is for 25 years. I just don't see it getting any better. I think it has plateaued and it will only go downhill. Sad to say.
That's a good word, actually. It's plateaued. Yeah, I like that one. It's not that we're saying it's bad. It's just not getting better. Yes.
Correct.
Yeah. Listen, Anson, I'm mindful of time, so I'm going to go to the final few callers. But thank you so much for bringing in.
Thanks a lot, bro, and keep up the good work. Really impressed, and thanks for the opportunity.
Take care, yeah?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, people, big up to Anson. I meant to ask Anson a question before I said bye to him, actually. Anyone who's in the comments, Badesi. Is Badesi an off spinner with a leg spinner's action, or is he a leg spinner who looks like an off spinner? Or is he both? Someone just answer that for me, because I was talking about Badesi bowling leg spin the other day, and someone said to me, Mash is an off spinner, but he just looks like he's a leg spinner. So someone talk to me, somebody who understands leg spin bowling better than me. I should just text Badri and ask him. But somebody who understands leg spin bowling better than me, or anybody who understands Badesi's bowling better than me, what actually is Badesi? Either way, he needs to play against Nepal. I've seen enough. He needs whatever he is, he needs to play against Nepal. Assuming that assuming that Roston Chase isn't going because he's got to get ready for the test series, he's a test captain, assuming Roston's can't go because he surely has to get ready for the test series versus India, Badesi's the next best off-spinning all-rounder that I can see. Not left arm orthodox. We've got plenty of them people, could say Fabian Allen or that lot. I'm talking about off-spin or something that looks like off-spin, leg spin, whatever it is he does, and he can bat. So I feel like Badesi's got to be that role against Nepal. I know that looks like a quick rise, but who else is gonna do it if it's not him? I've liked what I've seen from Badesi anyways. Simon's next, but I need to get a drink of water. Right, looking at the comments. Sorry, people. Leonard Dahl Singh says he's a leg spinner. Most of his deliveries come out the front of the hand. Rod says he's a leg spinner. Machel says that Badri said on commentary his googly turns more than his leg spinners. His leg spin delivery doesn't really turn. See, this is what I'm saying. I need to study this man more. Rod says that Badesi's bowling a lot of sliders. I need to next. Who's he playing for again? Is it? Oh, his team's out now, isn't it? I need to go study this guy's highlights from CPL to get a better on. Either way, I like what I've seen from Badesi. So yeah. Someone like where is he? Someone like Trini Werewolf. This is the guy you lot need to talk to. I know Trini Werewolf can get me a clip sample of Badesi's deliveries. Trini Werewolf, I beg you do that. Can you get like a sample of a minute of the best of Badesi's deliveries? I need to study this guy properly and understand what he's doing. Simon is. I don't know if Simon's still there. Let me bring him on. Yes, Simon.
Here.
Yes, Simon. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm in my toilet because everyone else is in every other room in my house.
Wait. Hold on. Did you say you're on the toilet or in the toilet?
Well, I'm having to sit on the toilet, but I'm in the toilet as well. Because everyone is sleeping in this house, and I can't be anywhere else.
Listen. Anyway, Simon, how you doing?
So it's been a while, hasn't it, Mash? This is why it's been a while. I can't call it. Yeah, no, I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm good.
How's the ticker, man?
Do you know what? Actually, I think these TC said to me the other day that these live shows must have been responsible for upping my blood pressure. I actually think she's right, though. You know, I think the non-stop talking actually might contribute to the blood pressure. No pressure on you after I've said that, but no, I'm all right. All jokes aside,
I'll be here till 12. Don't worry.
All jokes aside, I'm good.
We'll get that thing up. I have. You know what, Mash? I might have a more controversial question than even getting you to talk about the Charlie Kirk or the Reform UK stuff. I put this in the Discord a while ago because I was just thinking. About why West Indies, not as good as it used to be, blah 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 blah. And I was just thinking about old players coming back. I didn't know that Lara had decided to make a return. So maybe
that's the greatest news I've heard today.
That's so crazy, but it's also so funny that he actually scored runs still. Yeah. He's like, and this
carried his bat all the way.
Yeah. Whatever Shallow said that he's bringing back like what was it? He was there, Haynes and like Lara for that meeting. Maybe that's what that was about as well. Maybe next we're gonna see
what, Clive Lloyd.
We're gonna see Clive Lloyd.
So now we know
falling asleep at the crease.
Now we know what was really going on behind closed doors. You know, when they didn't actually announce at the press conference what had been agreed. Clearly,
this is what was agreed.
This is what they'd actually agreed.
It's like go score some runs in the club cricket, and you never know what might happen next. But anyway, I was thinking, what if Lara, aged 18, Viv, Gail, entered the West Indies system now? So let's say they played their first cap at 18 years old against Nepal, and then played their whole career. And I'm mainly interested in Test cricket. I don't care about the rest of it. Just Test cricket. By the end of their career, would their averages be better or worse or the exact same that whenever they played back in the day? I want to ask that question. I want to explain why I was thinking about it. But yeah, what's your initial thoughts on that?
So I'm going to give you the first two things that went through my head when you said it. I think there's two ways of looking at it. Way one is that players like Gail and Lara, you see them as generational talents irrespective of the era that they came through in. In the same way how Jaden Seals is a generational talent and is basically the best young bowler in the world in Test cricket right now, right? And that's in spite of a dreadful system that exists in the Caribbean. Shamar Joseph has come out the back of a bush and is one of the better bowlers in world cricket right now, with no real development system that we can say helped him to get to where he is, right? So I think you'd have to look at the likes of Lara and Gail and say, even if they were around in this era, maybe we just have to say that they were just true generational talents. And the thing that makes me think that to be the case, more so with Gail than Lara, is Chris Gayle basically played his whole Test career with no opener alongside him and still managed to average over 40 across 100 Test matches. So that tells me that Gayle, for all of his so-called limitations, was just a generational talent, because he wasn't even, it weren't like Haynes and Greenwich who supported one another, or he had somebody even close to his ability. That never happened at any stage in his career, right? That's one side way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is that we currently are going through a batting crisis in the region. So any batter who comes up through this era, like we have, is Shea Hope a generational talent?
Well, this is actually where this kind of came up from. So it was after Shea Hope scored that 100 against Pakistan.
Mm.
And what I started thinking, because then if you look at his numbers, by his numbers, Shea Hope is like the best basically ever in ODI, really. Because for the amount of games, like I know like Gale has more runs and stuff than him, but he played so many more ODIs than Shea has. That's what actually got the ball rolling in my head of like, basically, obviously one of the main things that we've critiqued West, or like that we say is that the facilities in West Indies are the same almost like as when back in like for Lara and like stuff like that. Nothing has really changed that much, or even if it has changed, other nations' facilities and infrastructure and professionalism has improved so much more than back in the time whenever we were dominant, whenever West Indies was dominant.
Mm-hmm.
So if that is the case, then it got me thinking again. What would Hope be like if he was back in the 70s, 80s, 90s? Would he be better or worse? And then I was thinking, well, what actually if you brought those players back into this era? And I think I do agree with you, and Neeks was talking about this as well. There are players that I think will just go through it anyway. Like they're just world class anyway. So it doesn't matter when or where they're born. They're going to find a way to score their runs or take their wickets. But I also got me thinking, man, like Machel, like someone like Machel, Louis, or like someone that's then in that rung below. What would happen to them in that also situation if they got transported back in the day and the gap in facilities wasn't as much as it was? And
the only thing I might say to that is it easier to develop if there are other batters in the team that are good? So as much as I just said Gale's a generational talent, Gale still played at a time when Shiv was still there, Lara was still there, Sarwan came up with Gale, Darren Bravo. Like if I can ever get Darren Bravo back on the pod, I don't think it's a coincidence that Darren Bravo averaged 40 whilst those players were still in the team. So Shiv, Sarwan, Gale were all playing with a young Darren Bravo, right? If you're a young Darren Bravo who comes into West Indies cricket in the early 2000s or like 2007, 2008 when he turns up, 2009, there's actually players you can... So you already have some generational talent, but there's players you can just naturally feed off. Whereas a young player now, so Kevlin Anderson comes into the West Indies team after beating up domestic cricket, but he comes into our test team and can't learn from nobody. Like there's no one he can. So when Machel Stark made him look like a schoolboy, there's no one he can turn to in that dressing room and go, "How do I stop Machel Stark making me look like a schoolboy?" And everyone else,
no one scored runs against him. Everyone's made to look like a schoolboy, including the
everyone looking at Kevin Hart, looking at going, "Is me you asking?"
Yeah. No, exactly.
So I don't know if that plays a role as well.
Yeah. No, it was I'd say it was a controversial question because I did pose the point of, well, don't just take it for a given that guys from back in the day that did bits for West Indies cricket, if they were coming back into this team now, would do the same because there is the gap has gotten bigger. The gap is absolutely we've all said it that that gap between us and our facilities and our professionals and all of that there has gotten bigger to other nations.
Yeah. And do you know what? I'll just add this final point because it goes back to the original point I raised with Seals, right? But Seals, when he came up, had Kimar Roach there to mentor him. I think that probably helps.
That helps.
Like if Seals comes up with his generational talent but doesn't have a Kimar Roach there, I think that makes a difference in how quick Seals' trajectory is 100%. In terms of adapting to the highest level of international cricket. If Seals came in and the only person he's there to learn off is Alzari Joseph, I don't think his career goes as quick as it has done.
Hold on a second here, Mash. I think we maybe have solved it then. I think we've solved it for West Indies cricket. Gale or Lara needs to come back in there.
He has to come back.
He has to come back. These runs mean something then. He has to come back.
No, listen, if Anson is correct and Lara played on the weekend and came in 1 wicket down and carried his bat in club cricket, then as far as I'm concerned, you might as well call up Lara to go India. Because, and I'm not even joking, right? Because who would you rather have coming in at number 3 in India, Lara or Kevlin Anderson? I know I'd rather have Lara. That's all I'm saying. I'd rather have Lara make 6 runs than have Kevlin Anderson make none. That's all I'm saying.
and it's like, this is also the why, and again, I haven't really watched any CPL, but this is why, I know you said it earlier, in 2 or 3 years' time, whenever Pollard and stuff is gone, I don't think that's happening. I think there's the only way that Pollard is gone in 2 or 3 years is if Pollard decides that he's gone. Because
I agree.
Trinidad,
I see them all.
would pick him. He would pick him until he is 50.
I think Pollard's going to play CPL. What's he now? 30. I think he's about to turn 38. I see Pollard playing CPL until he's 41.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah. So as much as I've been saying to people they're going to retire, that's more me saying that's what they should be doing.
Yes,
but I actually do. I see Pollard, I see Russell, I see Narain, all playing for TKR till they're in their till their early 40s. I can see it happening.
Yeah, and it's why I just don't care about any of these. It is such an old, again, in 2 or 3 years' time, CPL might actually make a decision to say, you know what, let's just become a Legends League. Let's actually just fully throw in the towel and just say we're a Legends League. They'd probably make the same amount of money. Again, I don't know if all the same Trinidad and Guyanese come out for these old guys. Why? What makes a difference if there's an extra 10 years on them?
Well, I mean, Tahir's 46 and no one seems to care. So yes,
exactly. Yeah,
so
exactly.
If Tahir can play at 46 and everyone who we're cussing who's 37, 38, they might as well play till 46 as well. Because no one don't seem to care. So
exactly, they all turn up there. Everyone still loves it. Everyone still, I don't know.
Anywho, listen, I'm going to go to the final caller.
All right, Machel here. Good chatting to you. Sorry, it's been so long since we've hadn't chatted, but yeah, we'll see. So
you can come out the toilet now.
Yeah, I will. Hold on, let me just flush here. All right. Goodbye.
Right. Final caller. Final caller is Ronaldo. Can somebody, if there's any Trinis in the chat, can they? So Anson said that the team that Lara was playing for was some team called Blasters. Can somebody get me the name of? I think it's that team that Evan Lewis was playing for, like the Manchurian Candidate or something. What was he? That team that was giving Evan loads of money. Marching. Is it? Who was Lara playing for? Marching. I want to say it was Marching someone. Anyways, if there's any Trinis in the chat, can you find me the name of the team that Lara was playing for on the weekend where he carried his bat? Right, Ronaldo's next, but Ronaldo, I just need to get a drink of water. Please, I beg. I'm just going to remove myself from the screen for a second. I'll play a video whilst I just... let me just do this. I'm going to just play a video, people, so I can just quickly go and get a drink of water. Let me see if I can find one. Where's that? Here we go. Let's use this one. Hopefully this is the right one. Yeah. Let me play this video and I'll be back, people. Let me take myself off the screen. Why am I... Jaja. I promised it. I said I was going to deliver it. Caribbean Cricket Podcast is growing. Welcome to the Caribbean Cricket Network. We've got Caught Behind the Mic with Yannick Leonard. We've got Caribbean History, Society and Politics with Suresh Rao. And we've got Cricket Fundamentals with Rising Bowler. This is the Caribbean Cricket Network. I took the video off without even... Anyways, whatever. Right, Ronaldo. Let's bring Ronaldo on. Final caller of the day. Wizzy, I've just seen your comment. Apologies. I know that you were in and then out. And I know I've just seen in the comments that Josh was trying to get back in. Hazards. Anson says the team name was Hazards. Okay. Was Anson? Was it? Sorry, people. Anson, was it just Hazards, or like is that the only name, or was it or is there something else that's part of their full name? Yeah. Right. Ronaldo's last. So Wizzy, apologies. Next time, hopefully. And who else? And Josh, I just saw in the comments that Josh was trying to get the link back. But this has to be the last call. It's basically 6 minutes to 11:30, and I need to go to my bed. People, I've got to get up for work. This blood pressure thing is no joke. Right. Anyways, Ronaldo. Yes, Ronaldo, how you doing?
Yeah, Mash, I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm very good, thanks.
All right, good to hear, man. Just a few points, 3 points to be exact. CPL is very exciting, at least to me. What's your thought on Brandon King, and where do you see him in terms of T20 going forward? Because he's playing for the Royals, and I think he's one of those openers that he starts so slow. And I actually think even the other day when he made 98, I thought that was a match-losing innings. Even though he bat right through the 20 overs, I thought the rate of scoring in the power play, Royals, they're the worst team in the power play. And I partly think it's down to Brandon King starting so slow. So what's your thought on him going forward? Because we know we're looking at the World Cup and, it's important, the power play.
So it's a very good question, right? And the only way I can answer that question for you is that I get it. First and foremost, I fully understand why you're raising questions, because I think Brandon King, and this is in all formats, I think Brandon is just a player where people are always gonna forever be like, should we be playing Brandon, yes or no? And then here's the thing with Brandon. Every time you think, no, there must be someone better, he plays a knock, which reminds you that, no, there isn't anyone better. But then there is an argument to say that he doesn't put together enough of a consistent run of scores that ever makes you feel completely comfortable with his spot. So what I would say to you is this, though. In an ideal world, would Brandon King come under scrutiny for his spot in the West Indies team? Yes. Would he be under threat? Would he be challenged? But then here's the question, Ronaldo. Knowing that Evan Lewis gets injured like every single time he plays the West Indies, that basically means you can't rely on Evan being fit for a long period of time. So, the reason I bring Evan's name up is because most people would say that the top two West Indian openers in T20 cricket are Brandon and Evan. Now, it could be Shea and Evan, but because, like I say, but all of this involves Evan having to be fit. So I think Brandon survives for two reasons. One, whenever you doubt him, there's a knock that comes up. So, like, for example, in Jamaica, when I was in Jamaica for the second T20 against, was it the second one?
The first one. First
or second, he scored a good 50. I can't remember which game it was, but I was there.
First one. Right? Second one was the Dre Magic.
Yes, it was. Yeah. So he scored a good 50 in one of the Jamaica matches. One of those knocks where, again, you're like, oh, yeah, that's why Brandon's in the team, right? But I just don't think there's two consistent openers elsewhere in the region that can supplant his spot. Unless you think there is one, because if I think of one, I'll throw you some names, and then you tell me if you would get rid of Brandon King for them. Johnson Charles, Andre Fletcher, Jewel Andrew, Kyle Mayers.
No, absolutely no.
Yeah. So that's why King's in the team, because I can't find no one else.
Yeah, Charles can't, but it's yeah, you're right. My second point is Kyron Pollard. I mean, Pollard, I know you were just speaking to Simon with about Pollard playing till he's 41, 42. But I have a more interesting question. Pollard seemed to be in the form of his life.
Yes.
What do you think? Do you think there's a slim possibility, or if Pollard decides to come out of retirement for the World Cup, do you think West Indies would allow that? Or do you see that possible Pollard continue making runs everywhere around the world? And would you take him back into the team if Pollard decided, you know what, I'm available for the World Cup, we're playing rubbish, you know what, Sammy, I'm here one last time, just for the World Cup?
I would. So I'll be completely clear. If Pollard makes himself available, he probably gets into my squad. But then here's the thing, right, Ronaldo? I know that if Sammy called up Pollard to come into the West Indies squad, people in the region would cuss, right? And the first thing they would cuss about him would be, how can this man come back into the West Indies squad at such and such age? That would be the first cuss that would happen if Pollard gets picked. But nobody wants to cuss about his age right now. Do you see what I mean? So if we are fine with Pollard beating up everybody in CPL and his age isn't a problem in CPL, his age shouldn't be a problem for a West Indies call-up again, right? But the real question mark about Pollard is, let's just say Sammy said, like, we're calling up Pollard. I want his experience in and around the squad. Who does he replace?
It's between the Rovman or Hetty or Rutherford. It's one of those three got to go. I mean, Pollard smarts. I look at him, Mash, and I'm like, why can't Hetty and Rutherford just bat like Pollard? Pollard picks his bowler, picks his matchup. He's just so smart in the way he goes about finishing the innings or batting in the middle. He knows he struggled against a particular spinner. And I'm watching Hetty and I'm like, Hetty came out and smashed Hussein for a 6 first ball. Next ball caught on the boundary. I'm like, that makes no sense. I'm watching Rutherford. None of them are as tactically shrewd like Pollard. So I take him over.
I can't deny that. I cannot deny that. So hold on. Let me just look at the West Indies team. King, let's just say argument's sake.
Yeah.
King, Lewis, Hope.
Chase.
I always forget about Chase, you know. Boy. Chase, Rutherford, 5. Powell, 6. Right. If Pollard came back, it's between him and Powell.
Yeah.
Or you put Hope to open, and then it's between Pollard and Hetty. Now, I'll tell you this. If you gave me a shootout between Pollard or Hetty, I'm taking Pollard every single day of the week.
Yeah.
If it's Pollard or Powell, I think I'm taking Powell. That's not because I think Powell's a better player than Pollard. I think it's because I trust Powell more than I trust Hetty. So I'd allow Powell to play over Pollard, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I think that's how I'd do it.
Yeah, but I'm disappointed with Rovman because even the other day on commentary they kept saying the spinner Wakar only had 1 delivery left in his spell, and Powell went, you know what? I'm gonna try smack him for 6. Gets out, last ball to the spinner. Barbados lose the game by what? Jason Ola defended 8 from the last over. I'm like, that's where Pollard, to me, Pollard is just awesome. So I really wish Pollard would come back. Finally, you were talking about, you made a video last week, which I really enjoyed, even though it was kind of sad because you were talking about the test team and the expectations and match. You made me cry, man. Those expectations.
Listen, I had to be realistic, you know.
Man, trust me, they made me want to cry, man. I'm like, this is really what I remember days we were cussing about why we can't bowl out teams. I was watching back some videos, even 2014 in South Africa, we were making 400.
Yeah.
Craig Brathwaite was there, we were making 400. And now but yeah, let me get back to the question. So I listened to your video and you highlighted a lot of good points. But my question to you though is given that we don't know the type of surface India is going to prepare, I know you said you expect us to take 20 wickets. But given that India just got beat down by New Zealand with New Zealand spinners, particularly left-arm spinner Patel and Santner, Bangladesh, Taijul Islam, even though India beated them, Taijul pretty much bowled out India in those test matches. Do you think India looking at West Indies saying, West Indies have like 10 left-arm spinners to choose 2 from? Because that's the truth, whether you want to look at Carripier, Ashmead, Moti, Warwick, we just have left-arm spinners all over the place. Do you think India, they're going to prepare surfaces that suit spin, or are they going to just get some flat pitches and then just outscore us? What do you think India they're going to prepare?
If India prepare spin pitches, they win. But I've got a feeling India might prepare some flat decks, you know, not because they think that's the way to beat us, but because they want, for TV contract purposes, they want the matches to go as long as possible. So if you put it this way, if you had West Indies come in to play you, and you know West Indies are dreadful, you can't afford, based on your TV contracts with whoever it's with, Sony or whoever it's with in India, you really can't afford West Indies to come and stink up the place and the match be over in 2 days in the first test and in the second test, right? So I've got a feeling that India are going to just produce flat pitches. Obviously, hopefully ones that break up as the match goes on. But I think it might be flat pitches, you know, just to keep West Indies in the game for a bit.
I get you. But I was wondering, why did they decide to prepare turning pitches against New Zealand? Because I know New Zealand generally don't play spin well, but they had 2 left-arm spinners.
I think they just underestimated New Zealand.
Finished
I think
in
it was
3
nothing
days.
more. I don't think it was anything more complex than they thought. We'll produce some turning pitches. That's New Zealand's weakness. Similar to what Pakistan did to us, where they were like, we'll produce some turning pitches. West Indies are no good. We'll accentuate our strengths, forgetting that, well, we have some spinners as well who might not be world class, but because Pakistan can't bat, they brought by preparing those pitches, they accentuated their strengths, but also equaled the playing field for us because they can't bat. If you see what I mean, India can do that against us because they can bat and we can't bat. Just do you see what I mean? I'm not saying that we wouldn't be able to take Indian wickets if they produce spin pitches. I think we would, but they aren't Pakistan. They actually know how to bat properly, whereas we can't bat. I guess what I'm saying is there is no pitch that India can produce that gives us an advantage. If you see what I mean,
that's fair. I think that's fair.
Yeah, but there is no pitch. There's no pitch. I was about to say, actually, if they produce a seaming wicket, I think
that gives us an. I don't think Bumrah is going to play, so I think that gives us an advantage.
I was about to say, actually, if they produced a seaming wicket, I actually think we could out-bowl them. But the difference is we can't bat. So it does everything comes back to us not being able to bat. So yeah, until we can find a generation, Lara, until we can find a generational batter, we're going to be in this position against anyone.
Lara, you're getting ready for India.
Listen,
meanwhile, Sammy at CPL.
Anson should never have told me that Lara story, you know. Watch what I'm going to be doing now. Watch what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 weeks.
All right, Mash. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Yeah. Cheers.
Listen, take care, yeah?
All right, take care.
Cool. Yes, people. That was a good live call-in show. Thank you to everybody who came into the live. Thank you so much. Sorry, people. Tired out here. Oh, God. I've got to get up for work in 6 hours and 10 minutes. Thank you for everyone who called into live. Josh, I know I missed you. I know you dropped out or whatever. So next time, I might even try and do another live call-in next week, because obviously this is supposed to be Monday. It's a Sunday, etc. So I haven't done one for the last 2 weeks or so. Let me see. Oh, I didn't see what the poll was saying. So I put into the live. Should we call Pollard back to the West Indies T20 team? Let me end the poll. So how many people voted? Let me see the poll results. Should we call Pollard back to the West Indies T20 team? 46 of you voted. 58% of you said yes. 41% of you said no. So there you go. You lot want Pollard back. You have spoken. Right. Anyways, people, listen. 1 hour and 33 minutes. I said it was going to be an hour. It's gone over 30 minutes. I'm going to duck out now. Going to iron my shirt for work. I haven't even done that. Didn't even plan my last lesson. Need to sort that out. So I'm going to iron my shirt, quickly plan some bits and pieces for my other lesson. I'm going to go to bed. Thank you so much, everyone who logged in. Please read the descriptors below, people, for all of the new things that are coming on Caribbean Cricket Podcast. You've got the Caribbean Cricket Network, which is coming very, very soon. Look out for the drops, hopefully within the next week or so. You've got Caribbean Cricket News, which debuts on the 22nd of September, next Monday. watch out, exclusive articles, basically coverage of West Indies cricket in print form in the way that you always wished it would have been done. That debuts next week, Monday. What else am I missing? I'm sure I'm missing. I'll become a patron for as little as ₹2, £2, $2, whatever your currency is. Join the CCP Discord group by becoming a patron, 25% off merch, etc., etc. So get involved with that. Go to www.patreon.com/cabcricket. And last but by no means least, if you can't do that, can't buy me a coffee, can't do super chat, can't do super thanks, at the very least, like, share, subscribe. Algorithm. I'll be Machel St. Patrick Hewitt, one half the Caribbean Cricket Podcast. We'll be back very, very soon.
West Indies Cricket, Caribbean Cricket Podcast. West Indies Cricket.